Hello everyone. Good evening. All right, so we're starting class right about now. But just before we go ahead and start, please, I would just like for all of us that are in session to reach out to friends and also co-mentees within our separate groups to try to join in for class because we'll be joining in anytime now. So please let's try to do that on time so that right once it's 4 o'clock, it's almost even 4, right? We'll just begin immediately, right? So please reach out to anyone that you can to join in. Thank you. Hello everyone. Good evening. Can we all hear me? Hello. Good evening. Can we all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
All right. Thank you for confirming. Welcome to class, everyone. We are welcome to week 2 of the JIIPCC Mentorship and Internship program. We'll be starting the session right now. Thank you all for joining in on time. So not to waste any time, just to go over our agenda for today. Basically, we'll be following the same pattern and the method that we followed in the last class, right? We'll be taking presentations first from both groups. Then our mentor for today, that's still Mr. Ebenezer, and will be helping us run through his discourse, giving corrections to the presentation, and also just generally helping us discuss the topic for today. And then we'll take questions, pictures, and that will be all. Right. So nothing too complicated. So sit back. I am sure we're going to have a wonderful time in today's session. Just make sure to get ready. For the group presenters, please get set because I'll be calling you on very soon. But before I do that, just to let you know, or just to give proper introduction to our mentor for today. Our mentor for today is still Mr. Ebenezer Egwatu, right? So I will not be reading his profile, seeing that I've done that already in the last class. You can always reach out to him. He's a part of the main group. So please, if you have any questions for Mr. Ebenezer post class or within the week that you would like to ask him, right? You can always drop your questions on the group chat, and I'm sure he would be very, very glad to help solve your questions, right? So thank you, everyone. So not to waste any time, we will start out, like I said, with presentations for mentees. So please, group presenters for group 1 and group 2, I hope you are ready. We'll be taking 15 minutes each for your presentation. So group presenter for group 1, you can go ahead, share your slides and then start your presentation. So group presenter, if you're with us, please go ahead and start your presentation.
Okay, good evening. I'm going to start sharing my screen now.
Hello, Dennis. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir. Welcome, sir.
Okay, awesome. Welcome, everyone. I said I don't know my students. We skipped that last week. So before they start, I need everyone to turn on your video, introduce yourself, your name, where you are joining from, why you are taking this course quickly.
All right. So we'll just take a
Hello,
pause on
have that.
we can hear you, sir. So we'll just take a pause on the presentation for now. All right. So
Yes,
please, can we
yes.
turn on their videos so that we can go through introductions?
Just turn on your video. Let's have our introduction done. Because I don't know you guys. And that's actually the tradition. So,
all right.
who amongst
Turn on
you,
our
if you are a medical student, if you are a nurse, if you are a doctor, If you are a law student, let us know. We've had lawyers here, we've had doctors here, we've had lab people here. So, and we have also had law students and medical students. So, I want to know where you are joining from, your name, firstly, what you do. If you are a student, tell us your school and your discipline and level and why you chose this course. Can we get that done in 5 minutes so that we proceed with the presentation? Thank you. Nobody wants to volunteer. Okay, I'm going to be calling your names. Okay, Blossom Basi, let's hear you.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Hello, Blossom Basi, unmute your mic.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, proceed. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, sir. My name is Blossom Basi, and I'm a recent graduate from Bayes University, and I studied law. So why I'm taking this course is that during my undergraduate program, I took a course called health law, and I was additionally drawn to it because when I was in secondary school, I loved taking
Okay, health
biology.
law, Dr. Kenechukwu.
Yes, sir. So during my secondary school, I was originally drawn to biology and all these health science courses, but ultimately I chose the law routes and I didn't want to lose that
Dr.
interest.
Kenechukwu. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Bayes University.
Yes, sir. So as I was saying,
Okay, good. So let's have the next person. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, proceed, please. Sorry. It appears I cut you short.
It's okay. Thank you, sir.
Sorry about that.
That's fine.
Proceed.
Okay, I was saying, sir, that during my secondary school, I was drawn to biology and all the health science courses, but I ultimately took the law route. And since I was still interested in those science aspects of
Okay.
life, I decided to choose health law as an elective, and it was
Okay,
very
want to
important.
make up for what you missed out.
Yes, sir.
Since
So it
you
was
didn't
very,
go into medicine or
yes,
nursing, you
yes, sir.
can get it through health and medical law.
Yes, sir.
Great
So it was
approach.
very
Good.
informative.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So what's your expectation in this class, given that you have gone through my friend, Dr. Kenechukwu? You have passed through my friend, and Kene is a good hand.
Yes, sir. Basically, to reinforce the knowledge I already know and to add to more information that I have.
Reinforce the knowledge you already have. Awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Next, please. Let's have Mary. Quick. Hello, Mary. Can you speak to us? Okay, while Mary is getting ready, we have Eniola Shekaina. Eniola, let's hear you, please.
Hi, good
Hello.
evening, sir.
Good
So my name
evening.
is Eniola Shekaina,
Yes.
and I'm going to be a part of this year's medical law internship and mentorship program. I actually had interest in some biology courses while I was still in secondary school, like reproductive organs and basically the animal kingdom and other stuffs like that. But I actually noticed that over time, I began to develop a hobby for like watching some medical documentaries on, like, there was one I saw on YouTube recently on how they performed an awake brain surgery. Like, I just realized that I actually just enjoyed watching things like that at some point. So I was like, okay, let me just give medical health law a go.
Okay. Are you a law
And one
student?
of the things, yes, sir, I'm actually a
Which
law
institution?
student, University of Ilorin.
What
And
level?
we recently had a medical law club, I think, yes, last session. So I
Did you
actually joined.
participate in the competition?
No, I did not.
But your school
No,
participated in the
yes,
ongoing med law essay national essay competition.
I think so.
Your school, I marked the script, so I saw University of
Wow.
Ilorin.
Wow. Yes, sir. So
Okay, so
I also, sir? Okay,
proceed.
So I also realized that I had interest in things relating to like abortion rights and reasons why some presidents and some states actually banned these transgender policies and all that. So I actually had interest in them, and I'm like, okay, why exactly do they have laws that actually guide these things? And because I heard about one state, I think in Minnesota, where there are policies whereby they can take children away from their parents to get implants. So like those are
The
literally
parents,
things that
yes.
actually just interested, that made me really pick a lot of interest in the medical field. So I
To
was
be
like,
interested
okay,
in medical law.
yes. So let me just give it
Awesome.
a go. Yes, sir.
Awesome.
So basically the
Okay,
laws and the policies.
awesome. Welcome. Mary, are you ready for us now? Let's hear you, Mary. Okay. Can we have Adiola? Adiola Medubi. Adiola Medubi. Okay, Mary, you are set. Let's hear you. Hello, Mary. Mary, can we hear you? I can't hear you, Mary. Okay, let's go to Adiola. Adiola, you have the floor. You have the mic.
Yeah. Good evening, sir.
Wow.
My passion for health tech law is
Who is speaking? Is it Mary or Adiola?
I think it's Mary.
Okay, so I can't hear you. Please introduce yourself again, quickly. Well, what's happening? Can anyone else hear Mary so that I know if it's an isolated case from my end?
I can't hear her, sir.
We can hear you, sir.
Can anybody hear Mary?
No, sir.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
we
sir.
can't hear Mary. Priscilla, can you people hear Mary? I can't hear her.
No, sir.
Okay, so Mary's network might be having a challenge. Can we have Joy Aguade? Joy, you have the floor. Who is speaking, Priscilla or Joy?
Yes, Joy, sir. Good evening,
Great.
sir.
Proceed. Good evening, Joy.
Yes, sir. My name is Abuade Joy, and
Okay.
I am a student of Bowen University. Sir, can you hear me?
Your network is breaking, but proceed. Student of where?
Bowen University, sir.
Okay, Bowen. Good.
Yes, sir.
So why are you in our class today? Why are you doing medical law?
Sir, I saw the need to do medical. Honestly, recently I did lab medicine in class, so in school, like last semester, last session. So I developed interest in it, and I want to know more. I'd love to know more about law and medicine. So that was why I
Wait,
chose.
you did more law and medicine in class, in school?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What level does your school do law and medicine?
400 level.
Oh, great. Interesting. Okay, proceed.
So I chose health and health law, health tech law. Yes, health and technology law. I chose it because I developed interest.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you. I on Tuesday last week Tuesday, I had a training for young lawyers, YLF on the branch, and I wanted to post it on the platform. Dennis, you guys locked the platform and they missed out. I did a webinar for Young Lawyers Forum on the branch on career prospects in medical and health law last week, Tuesday. And when I wanted to share it on the platform, I discovered the platform was locked. So the students mixed out. Okay, so we've had 3 persons. Maybe we proceed with the presentation. Later we come back. So group 1, because I'm seeing that we are 16. So we have taken Joy, we have taken Mary, I want to remember the first person we took. Blossom. Good.
Yes.
So I know the names. So let's have our presentation. By the end of question and answer, if we still have time, we take more introductions. Maybe next class, we take 3, like that. I get to know all the students in class. Okay, so group 1, are you ready? Let's have you.
Yes, sir. I'm going to start sharing my screen now.
Blossom, you're the presenter?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome.
Can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Okay, so like I said, everyone, good evening, everyone. My name is Bassi Blossom, and I'm the presenter for Group 1 for today. So today's topic is healthcare fraud and abuse. So healthcare fraud can be defined as a situation where medical skills, records, or services are used for profits. And this can be done by anyone, whether be patients. Where patients commit healthcare fraud is where they create false medical records in order to either gain profits or evade trials or litigation. It can also be done by insurers, where they change the policy requirements and make subscribers pay more money for services. And it can be done by providers, for example, hospitals, where they overcharge or they charge for services that aren't rendered. So moving on to healthcare insurance fraud. It's a subset of healthcare fraud that targets insurers through false or misleading claims by providers or patients. So I can give an example of this. When a person is subscribed to an insurance company, and let's say they paid for insurance against fires, and they now go to an insurance company and claim that a fire happened and they want money for the service for the accident that occurred. So that money gotten, it's false, it's fraud because it didn't actually happen, and they were able to get the money from the insurance company without actually having the event occur. So I'll be moving on to types of healthcare fraud. We have billing for services not rendered. I've already mentioned that. We have upcoding, we have phantom patients, and we have falsifying records. So upcoding occurs when a healthcare provider bills for a more expensive or complex service than what was originally given. So like I mentioned earlier, a hospital, let's say you go for a random checkup and you go for a health, like your leg is hurting you or something. And then when you go to the hospital, they say that, oh, you actually have a broken ankle or a sprained knee, or they'll just start bringing all sorts of diagnoses that you actually don't have. And obviously, if you pay for those diagnoses, it's going to cost more money than a random little pain in your leg. That's an example of upcoding. Then we also have phantom patients, which is fake records. They refer to a false medical entry created to deceive or financial gain. So I have a case for this. We have FRN versus Fanny Coyote. So in this case, involved the former Minister of Aviation. They said that allegedly that he went to a medical practitioner and he was able to obtain false medical records, and he used those false medical records in order to evade trial. But ultimately, they found out that it was a no case submission because they weren't able to get enough evidence to prove that he actually did the crime. So that would have been an example of falsifying records. So there are various impacts that the healthcare fraud has on the health system: cost inflation, reduced quality of care, and loss of trust. So it can start with loss of trust. That one's it's very accessible. So if a person goes to a hospital, they might have at the back of their mind that, oh, I'm just going for a leg checkup, and they might give me some other diagnosis which will make me cost money. They become more apprehensive and more mistrustful of the healthcare system overall, and the turnouts might dwindle as a result. Then reduced quality of care, drugs that were supposed to be illegitimate drugs, basically. Let's say you went to get paracetamol and it gave you a subpar product. Your quality of care has ultimately been reduced. Then cost inflation. it costs money to produce these drugs, and if fake records are produced asking for these drugs to be produced in large numbers, the overall cost of the drugs would increase in the market. Then we have notable global case studies. We have the 1.4 billion rural hospital lab fraud against George and Ricardo Perez. So they were ultimately able to get $1.4 million for fraudulent claims for unnecessary lab tests. Then we have the 2012 Pakistan fake medical crisis. So what happened in this? There were a large number of patients who had heart problems, hypertensive problems, and they needed a specific type of medication in order to alleviate the pain that they got as a result of that ailment. So when they went to the hospitals provided a legitimate version of that drug, and as a result, about 100 people died because of the fake drug. Then we also have the NHIS ghost subscribers case, and the NHIS was ultimately able to save two.
Basi, your network is breaking. Oh.
Okay, so when
Can you hear me? Can anyone hear her clearly? Hello?
Yes, sir. Can you hear her clearly?
Dennis, can you hear her clearly?
Yes, I can hear her
Hello,
clearly.
can anybody? Okay,
Yes,
so
sir,
it is from my end. Let her continue.
Okay, so I'll continue from the Pakistan case. So I was saying that a bunch of people went to a hospital because they had heart problems, they have hypertensive problems. So they wanted to get a drug from the hospital, but the hospital gave them a medication that there was a subpar version of the actual drug that they were supposed to use. And as a result, 100 people died from that fake drug that they were given. Then there's also the NHIS ghost subscribers case, where the NHIS was able to save 23 million naira from the fraud. Then we have the legal frameworks for this healthcare fraud. We have the 1999 Constitution, we have the EFCC Act, we have the ICPC Act, we have the Money Laundering Act. So the ICPC Act was established to investigate and prosecute corrupt practices. So corrupt practices includes fraud and abuse, and Money Laundering Act criminalizes disguising illicit funds, and it gives penalties for exceeding cash limits. And then the EFCC Act. This act was established to prevent, investigate, and prosecute financial crimes. And as a result, that includes fraud, embezzlement, and money laundering. So the ethical framework is that it borders on privacy, data protection. So these patient records is a person's personal records, and it shouldn't be able to be distributed to the public. It should remain in confidentiality of both the patients and the hospitals and other agreed healthcare professionals. So the National Health Act Section 29 protects patient records, and it gives penalties for unauthorized access to those records. And it also mandates a reporting duty that healthcare providers must report cyber incidents. So this enables that when cases of fraud come out, that the patients themselves and other agencies will be alerted that a fraud has been committed. So it will not be just remain an isolated incident. And then I've mentioned what false claims, double billing is, and healthcare insurance fraud. The last part of it is provider-patient collusion. This is when a patient and provider, they both conspire to defraud insurers. So a patient goes to a
Blossom, are you still with us? It's like, I don't know if you are still here. Hello, Blossom.
Hello,
Hello,
sorry, did
can
everyone hear me?
yes, we can hear you now. You went blank for a bit.
Did you hear the end of the presentation?
No, we did not.
Okay, so I'll share it again. Okay, it says another participant is sharing.
Okay, so you're not the one sharing, currently sharing.
No, it's not sharing. Okay, I can do it again. So where did I cut off from, please? Hello?
Patient.
Sorry?
You stopped at patient provider collusion.
Oh, okay, thank you. So I was saying that this is where a patient and a medical practitioner or hospital, they come together and they try to commit fraud against an insurance company. So what happens is that they go to a hospital and they ask the medical professional to create a fake medical report so that they will carry their medical report and go to an insurance company and they'll be able to get money from a claim that's asserted on that, based on that. So that comes to the end of our presentation. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your presentation. Well done to you and to your team for putting it together. So we would quickly also want to go to group 2 to have their presentation also. So please, if the group 2 presenter is available, please, you can go ahead, share your slides and start your presentation.
All right, sir. Good evening, sir. So give me a minute. I'll be sharing my screen now. All right. So please, I want to know if we can see the screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, all right. So I'll be starting now. So my name is Eniola Shekaina, and our topic for this week is actually medical malpractice. So we're going to be starting with what exactly medical malpractice is. So I'm actually going to be explaining the slides to make it easier for us and more interesting. So we need to understand that medical malpractices are actually professional negligence basically on the part of the healthcare provider. Like, it's either that this treatment could be below the standard that is required, or it is caused by an omission, which would actually result to a form of harm on the patient. And that's why it's called medical malpractice. So basically, to actually establish medical malpractice legally, there are 4 elements that need to be proved. The first element that needs to be proved is actually the duty of care. So you need to establish that, yes, this medical provider actually hold a duty of care to this patient. Then the second element that needs to be established is actually a breach of duty. So that means this very duty of care that is owed to this patient must have been in breach, in the sense that the medical provider either failed or did not treat the patient or did not attend to the patient properly like he ought to. So there must have been a breach of duty. And also the third element that must be proved is that this breach was what actually caused the injury to the patient. So the injury must have been the direct cause. The negligence on the part of the healthcare provider must have been the direct cause of this injury, which must have actually resulted to whatever happened to the patient, whatever harm the patient had to suffer through the course of his life or anything. Then also, the last element that must be proved is the element of damages. It means that this injury must actually be compensable. So whatever injury was caused to this patient must be one that can actually be compensated. by the court of law. So we also have types of medical malpractices. There are also other common types of medical malpractices. We have the diagnostic error, which is also known as misdiagnosis. Basically, this occurs when there is an incorrect diagnosis or probably failure to actually diagnose the patient. And what this actually ends up resulting to is either that, there's a delayed treatment in actually treating these patients, which can actually worsen the health condition of this patient, or perhaps failure to actually diagnose. For instance, let's say someone has a prostate issue, then like what they are seeing in the scan is, maybe fatty liver or something like that. They're not going to be treating the prostate, they're going to be treating the liver. So leaving the prostate to actually get worse over time. So these are things that actually occur when there are misdiagnoses. The other one that we can see is actually surgical errors. We've actually seen in various instances whereby, is it that the medical practitioner operates on the wrong side of the patient, or they accidentally leave an object, maybe like a forceps or something they ought not to forget, inside the patient, which can obviously make the health conditions of these patients actually worsen, probably leaving the person on life support for a very long time and others. So we also have medication mistakes. What these medication mistakes implies is that, okay, for instance, let's say I go to a pharmacist and then he prescribes a drug to me, and the prescription is either below my dosage or it prescribes a wrong one. So, and maybe I have a contact with a dangerous or harmful drug. So these are actually medication mistakes that can actually happen, and they happen a lot. Also, we also have another one, lack of informed consent. But first, I'm going to be saying that informed consent is actually whereby a patient is fully aware about the risk, benefits, and alternatives relating to a treatment that has been recommended for him. And if everything that needs to make up this informed consent is not really understood by the patient, it can actually lead to a form of medical malpractice, because it can actually hold the medical practitioner liable, especially criminally also. So we also have other ones like anesthesia errors and hospital acquired infections, as well as childbirth errors that actually happen during childbirth. So we also have some legal and ethical standards. So we already established that ethical standards are actually professional rules and guidelines earlier. So basically, what this tries to further establish is that there are actually some set of principles that need to actually be followed. That's the principle of beneficence, non-maleficence, justice, and autonomy. So that means the patient's autonomy must actually be well respected, and every decision that must be made must actually be to the benefit of the patient. And also the doctor owes a duty to actually not do anything to harm these patients. And justice, yes, like legal standards and other things and other related things. So we also have other legal frameworks like the Medical and Dental Practitioners Act, the National Health Act, the Compulsory Treatment and Care for Victims of Gunshots. Yes. And also, we also need to know that where there is gross negligence on the part of the medical practitioner, it's actually criminally liable. Generally, negligence should actually be a tortious liability. But once it is gross and it actually results to the death of the patient, it's actually a criminal actually a criminal conduct, so it can actually be charged and the person can actually be convicted. So moving on, we also have the causes of medical errors. So we need to first understand what medical errors are. Medical errors are actually failure to complete the intended treatment, or perhaps you use a wrong plan in order to achieve the intended outcome. So it's actually a two-way thing. It's either you don't even know, it's either you don't even know the procedure, but you have a premeditated end in mind, or perhaps you already started the procedure and you can't even complete it. So we have the causes, poor staffing. So poor staffing means inadequate staffs and probably lack of training for the staffs or employees that are actually on ground. Then lack of inadequate resources and equipment. We've been having rumors, or whether or not they are true, that there's been a lot of electricity issues in some hospitals, resulting to deaths of patients and all that. So incompetence of healthcare professionals. We also have some healthcare professionals that are not really, really, really professional in their conduct. They can they behave lackadaisically, or they are probably negligent towards their work and other things. So basically, we also have poor communication, basically miscommunication and improper flow of information. These two are actually a bit inter interconnected, in the sense that, there is no form of clarity in the information exchange between the two parties, that's the medical practitioner and the patient himself. And what this results to is that there isn't going to be a proper coordination or flow of communication between the patient and the medical practitioner, which can cause other things like anxiety or perhaps depression, because the patient doesn't even really understand what is being said to him. So we also have human errors like carelessness, negligence on the part of the medical practitioner, as well as lack of knowledge in the field. So it is actually not advisable for a medical practitioner to delve into something he doesn't really have full knowledge on. For instance, someone who has been a gynecologist for 12 years, doesn't know anything about ophthalmology, should try operating on someone with ophthalmology issues. So it doesn't really work that way. So because that person doesn't exactly have the full training and knowledge in that aspect of medicine. So impacts of medical malpractice. So we have impacts like mental and psychological harm. A lot of people who are actually victims of medical malpractice always end up with trauma such as PTSD and depression. And most of them end up getting suicidal, probably because they feel like, there is no cure or solution to their problems, or perhaps they relive the events that must have happened and all that. Also, social and behavioral harms. So they find it difficult to actually associate with people as well as medical practitioners, probably because they have gone through one issue or another. Also, physical harms. Some medical practitioners, as a result of negligence, have actually caused permanent harms to a lot of patients. And what this results to is that it actually leaves the patient probably immobile or disabled for like a very long period of time, especially for like an effect that shouldn't have even been a natural cause in the first place. So we also have financial harms, in the sense that, the person has already spent a lot of money as a result of this medical malpractice and doesn't really have any other means to fend for himself anymore as a result of this. And what medical malpractices actually do to hospitals is actually like a very, very much long-term harm, in the sense that the medical institution's reputation would actually be damaged. So we'll be moving on to case studies in Nigeria. So let's start with the landmark, that is Elusoji versus the chairman of medical and dental practitioners, of medical and dental practitioners disciplinary tribunal. It's a 2022 case. So what happened here is that the man works in a hospital, then the Mr. Uwa Osagi had a gunshot wound. So he took him to a private clinic and failed to do the x-ray, and some other things happened along the line, causing to the loss of the patient's leg. So this doctor was actually held for two things. First of all, he was held for practicing privately while being employed under another hospital, and also for misrepresenting treatment on the hospital letterhead. So he didn't even do it in good faith to the hospital's reputation. He did it for his own self. And also, we also have Delta State Hospital Management Board versus Onome. So this is a case whereby the man took his wife to an hospital, but because there was no obstetric team on ground, so he had to take her to a private hospital, where she delivered a stillborn child and she actually bled to death. The hospital was held for negligence, for their nonchalant and lackadaisical attitude towards the plaintiff. So we also have the case of Lagos State and Dr. Ferdinand Orji. So what happened in this case is that the doctor recklessly involved some non-medical people in the treatment of this child, causing more damage to his legs and his other body parts. So as a result of this, he left the boy wheelchaired for life, and it caused a grievous bodily harm to him, and he was actually considered to be a criminal offense on the part of the law. So in conclusion, medical practices are actually a threat to both the safety of the patient and to the reputation or credibility of the healthcare institution. And it also leaves a long and lasting consequence on the victims, and also weakens the confidence of the public in these medical institutions. So to actually address these challenges, there needs to be a more stronger ethical commitment from the practitioners, and a very effective legal enforcement and systemic reforms must also be prioritized for accountability and to actually make medical institutions more patient-centered, and to also make care and comfort available for all the patients. Thank you very much. That will be all.
Okay. Thank you to both groups and both presenters. Excellent job. Presentation is the best I have received by students on this subject matter, on this topic, both of you. Both
Thank you,
for
sir.
the
Thank you, sir.
healthcare fraud and the medical malpractice. At a point, my network began to misbehave, but I on again so that to know whether that was where the problem was coming from. Okay, let me start maybe from the second presenter, then we go to the first one. Firstly, there is a difference between medical malpractice and medical negligence. Even though some people, including some authors, use the term here, what you defined is medical negligence. Now, that is what is a mistake. It is not intentionally done. It is an error from the part of the healthcare professionals, and a lot of factors could predispose them to this error. Now, why I say it is error is if you check one of the meanings of the word negligence is not paying careful attention
Hello, sir. Your network is breaking with your video on. I think. Hello, sir. Your network is breaking with your video on. I think you can turn off your video so that maybe it would fix the network issue. Can you hear me, sir? Okay. Mr. Ebenezer's network has gone bad. So we'll try to work on it from his end so that, we would have a better outcome. Sorry once again for that. Let's give a minute or so for him to get it rectified. Hello everyone. Sorry, just to make sure that we are all here, right? Mr. Ebenezer's network seems to have completely disconnected, so I'm finding it a bit difficult to get a hold of him, right? But I'm currently working on it to ensure that we're able to bring him back on the call. So please, once again, I would just like to plead with us and then beg us to be a little bit in terms of patience so that we don't leave the class. I'm sure he's currently working on it and he'll be joining us soon. So please let me try and work on getting him back on board. Okay, so Mr. Ebenezer is trying to join back in, but his network is not permitting him to do so. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to restart the class, right? I'll try to restart the class in 5 minutes, right? So that, whatever the challenge may be, he's able to resolve it by then. So please, I'll be ending this particular call in about 5 minutes from now, or by 4:55, you can try to rejoin the call, right? So that we can join back in. Thank you, everyone. Sorry again about the challenge. We'll try to ensure that this doesn't happen again. So thank you. So we'll be reconvening in 3 minutes. So sorry again, once again, everyone.